We'll go ahead and start up here in the front. It does have a light for hooking up at nighttime. It has your up and down button for taking it on and off the vehicle. But there is a manual way that you can come through the top and manually crank the jack up or down. Any reason it won't work off the switch, there is a manual way to do that. It has two 30-pound propane cylinders that are full except for what we use to service the trailer. On the regulator itself, it's red inside the eye until we turn the cylinder open. Then it will turn clear. Once it turns empty, the bottle that it's pointed to, it'll turn red inside the eye. It'll pick up from the other side if the other cylinder is already opened up. It has one 12-volt battery on the front of the unit. And it does have a battery disconnect right behind the battery. As we start down this side here, we're going to look at our generator first. It does have magnets on the door to hold it up out of the way. There is a way you can start it from the outside. There's a prime button and a start button on the outside that you can start it from out here. And there is one also in the master bedroom above the headboard. You really have to have the unit unplugged to start it. But that is where the generator sits, in the front compartment on the off-door side of the unit. As we start down through here, the first section back is the outside of the hot water heater. The hot water heater is gas and electric. The electric switch is in the lower left-hand corner on the outside. The unit has been drained of all the water, but it does have an anode rod for the drain plug. And an anode rod actually draws all the impurities out of the water, eats up the rod instead of eating up the inside of the tank. Before you turn on either source, electric or gas, you'll want to pop the pop-off valve and make sure you have water coming out of it before you turn on electric or gas, either way. They did go ahead and put the mud diver screen over the outside. On our termination valves, the 3-inch black valve in the front is the toilet water. The 2-inch gray valve in the back is the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and shower water inside the unit. While we're down here too, on the front and back of the unit, it has the stabilizer jacks. On the off-door side of the unit, there is a slotted bar coming out of it, so you can manually crank them jacks up or down, either way you need to go. Then we have our freshwater tank filled. Fills up here at the top. The 2-inch white valve down below it is the drain. The line coming down with nothing on it is a vent tube coming out of the freshwater tank, so while you're filling the tank, it has a way to vent the air from the inside out. We're going to come back up. It does have a satellite hookup and a part cable hookup. We have our city water connect that we can hook to with a water hose and regulator and never have to fill the fresh tank. We also have a port spray connection on the outside of the unit, and we have a black tank flush, so that while you're dumping your holding tanks, you can hook a water hose and regulator to this connection, and it helps clean out more of the debris and toilet paper from the black tank only. Power cord goes on, makes a quarter of a turn, tighten up the black knob. This is the shop's cord. It's plugged into the wall back here behind us. The next connection back is the outside of the furnace. It does have the mud diver screens over the outside of the furnace already. It's a very wise investment. It's less than 20 bucks for the diver screens. It's $155 an hour for every hour that we have to take the furnace out to clean the mud divers out of it. Here again, we're going to go back to the tires. The tires are torqued at 100 foot-pounds, so it's recommended on the side. And the tires are aired up to pressure, which is 80 pounds on the side of these cold. We also got the slide topper mounted up to the top. Excuse me. Then we have a stove range hood on the outside. The two little tabs, if you lift it up, allows the flapper to flap. But when you're in travel, you'll want to make sure those are pushed back down and locked into place. Outside the refrigerator vents are not used anymore since we took the 110 propane refrigerator out, put the 12-volt refrigerator in. They have been blocked off on the inside. It has a 30-gallon gas tank on the off-door side over here. There is a spot down here on the bottom that goes through a 3/4 inch ratchet. Lowers the tire down here in the back. It has a vent on either side of the trailer, one down here in this back side, and there'll be one up by the front door. Here again, we got the slotted bar for manually cranking the stabilizer jacks down if they won't work off the switch for any reason. Here again, we're going to lift it up. Going to pull the handle over to the side. Door looks intimidating, but it is spring loaded down here at the bottom. Gonna let her come all the way down. Springs assisted as it comes out. It does have a strap holding the gate on. One down here at the bottom. If I can get my old hands to work. When the gate comes up, we're gonna flip this side of it up. Bring it over, lift that side up. We're going to bring it around, turn the handle, let it slide into place, locks into place. We're going to do the same thing on this side over here. We're going to lift the tailgate up, sidewall up next. Come over here, going to slide it into place. Lock it down. Now there is a little catch here on either side that comes in and hooks to the wall. It's easier to put it on from the inside when you're up in the gate, but it keeps your dogs from coming out or little kids from falling out between the wall. As we start down this side here, it does have stabilizer jacks on it. They're going to run down. Sometimes when one of them comes down before the other till it hits the ground, then the other one will come down. They are for stabilizing the unit only. They won't level it from side to side, they just stabilize the unit. And if you're on very off-level ground, it would be not a bad idea to have the plastic ground buckets underneath it so the jacks don't have to extend down so far. Back up here, we do have the gas fill for the toys that you're going to run inside. On the gas fill, you hold the on and off button till they turn green. Motor will prime up, stick that into the toy, and you can suck the gas from the 30-gallon tank to whatever vehicle you're putting it into. And then all you have to do is hit the off button on it. The gauge will tell you how full the tank is itself. We're going to slide that right back in, stick it in place. We'll lock that back up when we're done. It also has scare lights on door side and off door side. And it also has them on the deck side in the back, up at the top. It is prepped for a backup camera up top. It has 2 outside speakers. I'll have to show you more about that on the stereo on the inside. But there is a place to plug a TV in out here on the underneath side. Works off the park cable or antenna. Second vent for the toy hauler area. We're going to skip right past the steps right now. Second button for stabilizing the jacks in the front. Going to come up into the front compartment. There is the cord for the unit. This is the manual crank handle for the stabilizer jacks. The manual crank handle for the spare tire and the tongue jack. This is your port spray hose that connects to the port spray in the back. It is inverter prepped. Also has solar on it. Solar panel display down here at the bottom. Has a 2-way light, motion sensor. They're on 24/7, and it is also prepped for a tire monitoring system. We're going to go back to the front door. When you open the front door, usually the steps are in the up position, mounted inside the door frame. They took the original steps off the unit, mounted a toolbox underneath it. We have the blue handle here in the center of the steps that you turn sideways, allows the steps to come loose from the door frame. There is a handle on it for bringing it out. It has a push button underneath each one of the legs, 15 to 18 slots in the legs for adjustment. The main thing on the steps is once it comes out and lays in place, it has to lay flat in the threshold so that the front door fits over the top of it properly without dragging. So here again, we're going to shut the door. No dragging. We're going to open the door back up. It does have a lock on the door for holding it open. We're going to go to the inside. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the left-hand side as we come in. We have 2 keys for the toolbox that's underneath there. We're going to come down to the monitor panel next. I left a little sticker on the inside that tells you what everything is. Your battery is the voltage that's in the battery. Your freshwater tank will be the clean water in the unit. Black tank 1 is the toilet water. Black tank 2 is not used in this unit. Gray tank 1 is your kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and shower water. And your gray tank 2 is not available on this unit. Here again, we can come over to the power control system, scroll down through it. We're on 30 amp service. Hot water heaters powered up. Refrigerators powered up. AC rear power. AC front power. Amperage, showing it's not drawing any amperage right now. We're going to go back to the 30 amp service. We're going to come over and look at the blue lights just to the left hand side of the monitor panel. The first blue light on the left hand side is your pump switch. It turns the water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one is the gas side of the hot water heater. You want to make sure you got water in it first, but when you turn it on, the little red light, door side fault light's going to come on. It's going to stay on for about a minute. Once it goes off, the hot water heater will go through 3 lighting processes to light on gas. For any reason it would not light on gas, that little door side fault light's going to come right back on. Then we got our cabin lights, which is the lights above us up here. Auxiliary lights again, which is your 2 scare lights on the back. We have awning lights underneath the awning. We have a porch light, which is your amber light by the door. And then we have cap lights on the front of the unit. Slide room switch runs your kitchen slide in and out. Then we have our awning switch that runs the awning in and out. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. Since there's no unit beside of us, we can get it all the way out. Want that skirt hanging straight up and down. We have one more switch on the monitor panel that says auxiliary. When you turn that auxiliary switch on, if you look up underneath the unit, it does have red lights underneath the unit. It has a red light in the front and a red light in the back. I can't see. We also have our porch light above the door. We also have the awning lights. We got 3 LED lights on the front of the unit, which is what they call cap lights. 3 little strips down here at the bottom. The 2 auxiliary switches is the lights. Door side and off door side. Bright white lights on the off door side and door side, and you have the 2 on the back deck. Each one of the awning arms has a pinch point that you can pull down against. The bottom arm, pull down against it, puts the pitch of the rain coming off this corner here. Has the one on the back arm the same way. I'm now a tall enough boy to get the one in the back, so I always come to the front arm that I can actually reach to and pull down on it. Going to put it back up. Does have the LED lights along the side of the trailer. Looks a lot better at the nighttime. And when the stereo's on, it has 2 blue lights inside the speakers. Let me kick that stereo on real quick. 2 little blue lights inside the speakers. It does kind of decorate up the outside of the unit quite a bit. We're going to come back in. I'm gonna go ahead and mute that for now. It has zones 1 and 2. Zone 1 is your outside speakers. Zone 2 is going to be your inside speakers. You'll dial it to whatever setting you want it to. The arrows either side brings it to the radio stations. Has AM, FM. You can Bluetooth it. Also has a USB port and an HDMI cord. I'm going to go ahead and mute it back off. One more light switch right underneath that. Turns the 2 lights above the bunk on. All the rest of the lights in the unit have to be turned on by hand. They have a little push button on them. And they do have the USB ports on all the lights underneath the cabinets and in the master bedroom. 2 recliners. Pretty comfortable. They don't let me sit in them too long, but it does have the tie down hooks in the floor. On the bed in the back itself, it has an up and down button here on the wall that takes the side benches up and down. You'll bring them all the way up. We're just going to bring them up about halfway. We're going to go back out to the outside deck again. It does have a handle that locks between the 2 doors. We're going to slide them open. We're going to come back out onto the deck. A little white trim on the cushion. Wraps around the corner. Keeps the child proof from getting out, or the critter. Either way you wanted to go with it. If they wrap around, hold on to the corners. There's going to be 2 more straps on the main doors. Pull down against this. Allows the 2 doors to open up fully so that the toys can come in. If you're bringing a toy in, you'll open the back gate. You'll drop the gate all the way down to the ground, which is on the cables on the sides. We're going to come back to the cushions here. We're going to unpin them on the sides. I'm going to take the 2 pins, I'll stick them in my pocket for now. We're going to lift up on the bed itself. We're going to lift it up, slide it back, lock it into place. Oh, this one over here didn't lock it. Hold on. Lock it into place there. We're going to come back to the 2 little pins. I'm going to slide them back in, lock those into place. Now the top won't roll up till you slide that back to unlock it. Then the top will roll up to make a seat. We're going to pull it back down. We're going to go back to the back one. We're going to pin it in place. That is the locking mechanism on the side for the chairs. It's locked into place when it's in. It's unlocked when it's up. Here again, we're going to pull the 2 pins on the sides. Put them in my pocket. I'm going to bring it up. Lock it into place. It slides back, the bolt slides back, locks it into place. This one's not all the way back. Now it is. Going to put the pins inside. Put the pins inside, lock it into place. We're going to go back up to the switch again. We're going to raise it all the way up till it comes up against the bottom of the bed. Clicks into place there. Then you got 4 more pins you have to pull. There's going to be 1 underneath each one of the legs. I'm going to pull them off the side right there. Take the pins and put in my pocket. I'll come back over here to this side. Can't get the pin out of it, no crippled hands. Come on. It's almost out. Fourth pin, put it in my pocket. Then we're going to lower the beds back down. The top and bottom bunk will both come down at the same time. When the top bunk gets down all the way, it'll stop. There's where the top bunk's going to sit at. Bottom bunk's going to come all the way down almost to the floor. Second bunk's right there. Now, if you look at the top, we have an air conditioner vent on either side of the light. We have a 110 outlet on either side of the trailer. We also have a black knurled knob in the vent above the bunks. Little black button turns the fan on. Lift up on the cushion underneath the bed. We have a table up underneath the bed. The table can go between the two benches down here at the bottom to eat on. We're going to come back to the refrigerator. It is a 12-volt refrigerator now. It's not the 110 no more. Has controls for the freezer up in top, but it also has the push buttons down in the bottom, setting on 3. That way your milk don't freeze in the bottom, but you still have the freezer section up top. It has 1 to 5 settings on it. We're going to come over to the microwave. Microwave has a clock button. Push the clock button, let's say it's 11:30. Hit 11:30, hit the clock button again till the 2 center eyes is solid. The only reason I really set the time on the microwave is, here at work, I can tell if somebody's come by and unplugged it on me. If it doesn't have the proper time when I come back to it, you can always go back to the refrigerator and check the refrigerator to make sure that it's cold. It does have a light for the stovetop and a fan. For the fan to work properly, the 2 tabs on the outside range hood have to be opened up. Allows that flap to flap, so we're going to turn it right back off. Does have a glass stove top up on top that gets folded up 2 times up out of the way. Here again, we got the lighted button on the left hand side. We're going to turn it to the highlight position, light with the Stryker on the left hand side. We're going to turn it to the light position. Let it light. Turn it up. You can adjust the flame temperature on each one of the burners individually. Anytime they have gas coming through the valves, they'll be lit up in red. So we're going to turn them right back off. We're going to go over to the oven button on the fryer. Doesn't have flames on it. We're going to turn it on to where it says dehydrating, which kicks the fan on in the back. Then we're going to dial it up to the temperature that you want. Then you can tell the temperature change in the inside of the oven right off the bat. If you flip the light to the down position, you'll also have a light in the oven so you can see what you're baking. We're going to turn it back off. Go back up to the top. Turn that back off. Don't take it long to get warm on the inside. You do have 2 cabin doors down below that you can put pots and pans in. Also, in that oven, there's this pan here for greasy chicken pieces, and then you have a metal pan for the bottom that you can put into the bottom on it. Light to the right hand side of the stove has to be turned on by hand, but you also have another GFC eye outlet behind the light. Fork and spoon drawer, 2 more drawers down below it. Pretty good size drawer space. Pretty good size pantry off to the right hand side of that. Pretty good size pantry to the right hand side of the microwave. Above the sink area. Pretty good size. All the paperwork that's in the unit should be in the red bag here. We're going to have 2 more remotes. One for the TV. If I'm not mistaken, it got 42 channels on the TV the other day. Not that I get to watch a lot of TV, but we do have to turn it on and make sure that it works. And then the little remote is for the stereo to turn it on and off.
Events and programs at Cape Girardeau's Conservation Nature Center.
Turn the stereo back off. Android TV has to go through its little situation to turn itself on. Here again, we're going to go to apps, customize channels. We're going to use the arrows on the round button to go over to where it says TV Live. Hit the OK button on it. The last TV station's about 80 miles away from here, which is in St. Louis. That's not too bad a picture working off the antenna on top with the booster behind the TV. Does have a pretty good picture on the TV, and I'm pretty sure it got 42 channels, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it right back off so that I don't sit here and watch it. It does have a strainer for the kitchen sink. Does also have a 110 outlet on either side of the sink, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and they are also solar prepped. They work when the solar's on itself. Light above the kitchen sink turns on. We're going to come down to the thermostat. We're going to turn it on. First thing it's going to give you is your fan speed, which is auto, high, and low. You always want to run back to the auto position. Hit the mode button one more time. Get the little snowflake down below us. Set your temperature for it at 60. Hit that mode button one more time. It says furnace in the lower left-hand corner, and you'll dial your temperature up for it. Hit that mode button again, and it says off in the lower right-hand corner. We're going to come down to the breaker box. Breakers are marked from the top to the bottom exactly what they are, with your main, your AC, microwave, general purpose, which is your 110 outlets, hot water heater, GFI inverter, washer dryer prep. Then you have a spot down below. All your car fuses on the left or right hand side are marked exactly what they are, top to bottom. And then you have your two 40 amp converter fuses to the inside of that. Anytime one of the fuses is blown, it has a red light to the right hand side that lights up, but you can also see through the tinted window. That air furnace tried to kick on, so the brown vents in the cabinets is where your heat's going to come from. The round vents in the ceilings where your AC is going to come from. We're going to slide right on past that. It does have a light here that turns the decorative lighting above the shelf on. Gives you a 110 outlet up here at the top. We're going to come back down here. We showed you them too, but we never showed you the LP carbon monoxide. And you do have another vent coming out of this side of the cabinet over here that brings heat. What I say? Should have this little buzz, buzz, buzz. Does have a light switch on the left-hand side of the wall, or yeah, left-hand side of the wall as we come in. We do have a vent button in the bathroom that raises the vent since you can't reach it by hand. A little bit fan button off to the side turns the fan on for pulling moisture out of the bathroom. We're going to turn the fan back off. We're going to close it back down. It has a single foot flush on the right hand side of the toilet. Push halfway down, fills with water, push all the way down, fills and dumps. We do have our second GFCI outlet in the bathroom. We also have a plug for the bathroom sink. We're going to slide the doors open. On your shower, the left side's your hot water, the cold side's the right side's the cold side of it. Still has to be cleaned. Had to go back up here, but it does have a dome up above us. For you taller guys, I don't have to worry about that. Pretty good sized cabinet space off to the right hand side of the bathroom shower. 4 screws comes out of this panel here. Will access you into the back of the hot water heater. On the hot water heater, it has 2 white valves. The normal operating position, the 2 white valves are pointed towards the tank. Right now they're turned sideways, which makes a loop at the back of the hot water heater. Excuse me. The unit has been blowed out. The water line's been blowed out. We do have antifreeze added to the P-traps and to the toilet. In the master bedroom, there's one more light switch on the wall that turns the light above us on. Light switch on the wall turns the light above us on. We do have another thermostatic control for the AC. The two lights above the headboard of the bed have a switch off to the side to turn them on, but they do have the USB ports on either side. That light there turns the decorative lighting above on. We also have our generator prep switch in here for starting a generator from the inside of the unit. It has a 110 outlet on the right hand side above the headboard. It has another 110 outlet on either side of the bed down here at the bottom. We have another 110 outlet up here, what I call the entertainment center in the master bedroom. There is a plate marked on the wall for mounting a TV in here. Works off the antenna on top or the park cable hookup. Does have a fire escape window on the off-door side. Excuse me, you can use it for ventilation or you can push the handle all the way through for escaping. Has the slow rising shades. Does have some storage up underneath the master bed. And then underneath the foot of that. Does have the quick cool down on each one of the air conditioners. You can flip that vent open, lets all the cold air come right down into the master bedroom. When you close them back off, it goes back to the round vents in the ceiling. And that's basically everything on your unit. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And thank you for your time.